While Vanguard Zombies' gameplay has been largely controversial and the subject of critique for a lot of players, Vanguard has begun to find its place on the lore side of things. Using the World War II setting, Trek have started to truly expand on the history of the Dark Aether and the demons that reside within, and this is all very important for the future of Vanguard Zombies' storyline and the Dark Aether story as a whole. So whilst you may not be interested in the mode itself, you may still be interested in what the lore has to offer. Today I want to quickly discuss the loading screen on Terra Maledicta and what it could potentially mean for both the past and future of our storyline. The loading screen of this Egyptian map features a large tablet engraved with Dark Aether hieroglyphics, depicting various groups gathered around a castle and a large floating construct that is almost futuristic in nature. If we reflect on Cold War Zombies' intel from Zykov's third day in the Dark Aether, we learn that he noted of the Dark Aether being a culmination of time, featuring aspects from across time, the past, present, and future. Day 3, this place is like a living nightmare. It almost seems thrown together from many different points in history. There are items here that appear ancient, alongside mechanisms that look like they came from the future. It is madness. Many horrors prowl this land. Some are like the creatures I fought at End Station, but others are far worse. With the different factions in the Dark Aether, many have progressed in different stages, with some seemingly being a lot more archaic, while some being a lot more futuristic in nature. We're able to see both the castle and the mysterious constructs within the Dark Aether section of Terra Maledicta. The environment is outstanding here, and it just sucks that not a lot of people are interested in actually playing the mode, despite the environment being pretty cool. There is text written on the loading screen that is seemingly more modern as well. The first and foremost thing to break down to truly understand this image is who the various groups on the stones are. One of the text boxes refers to them as the Royal Court of Cortifex. Each group, however, have their own flags, allowing us to identify them individually. The farthest left group carries a flag that sports the rune of Nauticus. This means this race is the race of demons that Nauticus led during his time under Cortifex. This makes sense because we already know that Nauticus led Cortifex's armies during the Nether Wars in the Dark Aether. Just above them is the now extinct race of Vakana the Last, and we do actually see her birthplace within the Dark Aether section that we are able to visit on Terra Maledicta. Just a little interesting detail.
It was custom for each of my clan to mark their birthplace. This stone marks mine. There are many such monoliths in the Dark Aether, but the construct high overhead is another thing entirely.
Sporting her rune on a flag, they too stand assembled in Cortifex's court. He would later try and wipe the race from existence, leaving only Vakana after his genocide, burning her forest to the ground. The final race that we can fully see depicted on the stone is the race of Belikar, the Warlock. Her rune is hanging on a flag above them, and their headwear seems extremely similar to hers. However, this leaves one group still to be discussed. The race has seemingly been censored from the stone, in an attempt to wipe them from history. The initial instinct would be to say that this race was the race of Invictor, since he is not featured on the stone. However, taking a closer look at their appearance reveals them to have tendril and tentacle-like features. I'm sure the word Apothicon immediately springs to mind when you hear of tentacles. Despite this, these features, combined with the fact their rune is very explicitly blocked out, leads me to believe that this may be the race that Cortifex does not want us to discover. These two facts both add up to mean that this is either a brand new race that we have not seen in the storyline, or someone we have already met who could fit both of those descriptions. There is one character from the past, or I suppose the future, who we've already met and could potentially fill in the gaps. Sparagmos, the creator of the Chrysalax and leader of the Disciples. Sparagmos in Forsaken mentions that he used to lead the Disciples before the Forsaken. Zykov stole his army from him. When you injure the Disciples who work for the Forsaken, their stomachs rip open and their organs form twisted and almost tentacle-like shapes, very similar to the creatures depicted here. This could, however, be an entirely new race to the Dark Aether storyline. Only time will truly tell. The last two things worthy of note here are the large structures in the background, Cortifex's castle and the construct. This loading screen, as well as a couple of lines of dialogue, draw attention to this construct. It is said there are other large Dark Aether constructs for other demons, but Cortifex's is unique in its function. While we do not know what this function is, it is likely that it has something to do with the destruction of Akana's homeland, as well as a possible subject of a future quest. Considering we saw the Void Spheres, the subject of Terra Maledicta's story quest, in the last map, the idea this could be teasing a future map or quest is pretty reasonable. But I guess we will just have to wait and see what exactly is this construct, as well as the castle. It could even be some sort of terraforming machine that completely decimates the area. Maybe an alternative use for it could be transport across space, allowing the ability to travel to other worlds. But it's all very up in the air at the moment. It is worth noting that there have been several hints that Cortifex may be of alien origin, and the Dark Aether section, with a unique terrain made up of floating islands, where the unidentified flying object, the construct, is located, looks seemingly to not be on Earth. The Special Forces team breathes in Ethereum when in the Dark Aether, and oxygen is not required for their survival, with the Old Ones likely returning in the sequel to Cold War Zombies now that the Forsaken has been defeated and freed them. I do wonder if we could explore otherworldly planets and more extravagant environments than the ones we saw in Cold War Zombies. With that all being said, thank you a lot for watching this video, and let me know what you think about this missing race and the construct in the comment section down below, and let me know if you want to see more Call of Duty Zombies lore videos like this too, since barely anyone seems to be making them nowadays. I understand that Zombies is at a drastically low point right now, with the reception of Vanguard Zombies being very negative, but I think the lore aspects do hold a lot of intrigue and mystery. It's just that not many people from the general wider community seem to be paying attention to it. There are niche groups in the community that love this stuff and they've been going ham diving into it all, but I think the wider community seems very disinterested in the overarching story of the Dark Aether story, Cold War Zombies and Vanguard Zombies moving forward into the future. Hopefully that picks up pace in time for Trek's next Call of Duty Zombies installment, and people will look back on all of this past lore from this game at the stuff they missed. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're not the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.